with awesome friends and family. Oh my God, Southern food is the best. And I had an amazing time at my school, University of Georgia. Go Dogs. So, Southern life, I mean, if you can relate, it's like, everyone and everyone knows you type of deal. You feel that sense of belonging. So you're really never lonely, and that's great. But sometimes, you feel kind of it's too much. Where I eventually reached a point where I craved some anonymity. Like I wanted a fresh start at a place where nobody knows me. So I wanted to explore the bigger world and make some new network of friends and create something of my own. So I moved to New York City, where really nobody really cares about you, right? It's really like being on the opposite end of the spectrum. And and living in New York City, it was so much fun in the beginning. I've always wanted to make a whole bunch of friends from all around the world and have that broad knowledge about, and then have an understanding of different cultures. And New York City is the best place to meet new people around the globe. And my first job was at an accounting firm, and my office was located inside of Empire State Building. So the Southern gal working inside of the iconic symbol of New York City, I felt like I had the whole world in my hands. So I had the most positive attitude, took on more workload than I should have because I was just so eager to build that strong career. But, years went by, I realized that my life was totally out of balance. I was in really bad shape, both physically and mentally. And my dream of making friends from all around the world was already long gone because I was actually competing against them to move up the corporate ladder. On top of that, my lifestyle didn't really improve much because I was always working just to survive. And I was so disappointed because I was, really living that smallest, that meaningless life in one of the biggest, shiniest city in the world. So around that time, I sort of paused for a minute, and then I had to ask myself some questions. Like, what am I really doing here? If I continue to do what I'm doing right now, how much longer am I really going to survive? Maybe 5 years, 10 years? What's going to happen to me after that? I mean, I'm not happy now. So I wrote journal for days, really trying to discover my feelings, and just what's really deep inside my heart, right? And I finally figured it out, and I realized that I was looking for freedom. So freedom comes in many shapes and sizes and forms, but my definition of freedom was having freedom of choice. So let me kind of give you a couple of examples of what I mean by that, having freedom of choice. So my mom, she's my best friend, and I want to be there for her whenever she needs me for whatever reasons. If I need to be with my mom in Atlanta for 10 days, but I only have 5 days of PTO left, what do I do, right? I have to make a choice. And let's say I have a daughter. I mean, I don't. Let's pretend I have a daughter who is super brilliant and has awesome GPA, got like perfect SAT score to attend a very prestigious college in the US. But as a parent, you're limited on your budget and cannot support your daughter financially 100%. What do you tell your daughter? You have to make a choice, right? So while I was searching for ways to achieve freedom where I can choose to do whatever I want, whenever I want, my mom called me. And I totally believe in this power of attraction because when I spoke with her over the phone, she said there is a business opportunity that she's interested in, and she wanted me to do some research for her. It's like, okay, I'll do it. So I did some Googling, read some reviews and found out a little bit about the company. But I felt my research wasn't just enough. You know, you really cannot find all the information about Nu Skin online, trust me. No matter how much Googling you do, you're not going to understand the company and the business potential and its value 100%. And I didn't want my mom to make her business decision based on what I read on the internet. So I wanted to be certain and needed to see the company myself. So my mom and I attended Nu Skin Global Convention. Well, in the beginning, I didn't really feel much of anything because I was just there to simply support my mom. I had no intention of starting this business. And honestly, it was kind of weird for me to see these people, like not just a few, like thousands of people that are so passionate about their work, about their career, because I certainly didn't feel that way about my own company. And when leaders that achieved great success in this business walked on stage, my jaw literally dropped because there were way too many. I mean, in the regular corporate world, you don't see that many corporate like leaders or executives, right? There are only few, like handful of them making huge salary. And another thing that was pretty interesting to me was the founder's message. I mean, there were great messages from all different leaders throughout the convention, but the one that I'll always remember is that they say their job is to empower people's lives through rewarding business opportunity. And we are encouraged to only work with the good people and do not sponsor dishonest and unpleasant people. Huh. Well, guess what? I don't know what this business entails 100%, but it seems like the company is legitimate, has amazing technology in the products, the culture is there, and they value people. And my mom, I believe my mom can really do well in this business because she's the most honest and pleasant person in the whole universe. So after the convention, towards the end, I did feel something like in my heart. I felt that, you know, this could be the opportunity where I can really achieve my freedom. So since then, my mom and I run Nu Skin Business as a family business, and I'm truly grateful that I get to do this work with my best friend. So why should you consider this Nu Skin opportunity seriously? I mean, there are a lot of reasons, and let me just share a few. Number one, I want to say supplemental income. As I mentioned in the beginning, we're living in a world full of uncertainty and nothing is guaranteed. Do we all agree? Nu Skin is the best gig that you can start immediately with no financial investment, and you can set your own financial goals and truly work on your terms. And next is teamwork. This business is based on teamwork on several levels. So your sponsor and your uplines have a direct interest in your success, and they will guide you every step of the way. They're your most important resource, right? They're like your go-to people. Also, Nu Skin offers a lot of free tools and resources to help you achieve your goals. And we have support groups in a larger scale, like our Nu Skin Himalaya group or One Team Global, where the leaders share their experiences and best practices in order for you to achieve success. And our compensation. Velocity is the most flexible compensation where you can get paid daily, weekly, and monthly. I can literally go on and on about velocity, but I'm not going to go into details tonight as I want to focus on a different topic. So make sure you ask the person that invite you to this meeting tonight, ask them to explain velocity for you, because when you understand velocity, it'll really help you set clear goals. And for the last 35 years, Nu Skin has given us are the business executives and the distributors amazing product line to work with. That's why we are the #1 in the world, according to Euromonitor. And the company is also launching new products like new Nutricential lines, right? With Bioadaptive Botanical Complex, Hydra Flex Blend. Oh my God, these are amazing science. And we have HLOC Boost that's coming, and Vera. All of these products and services will be launched in the US and Canada markets starting fourth quarter of this year and throughout 2021. And that's not all. The company never stops developing a continual pipeline of innovative skincare and nutritional solutions. So that's why, excuse me, there is still tons of opportunity in Nu Skin. So in Nu Skin, we have 3 different divisions. We have Nu Skin, that is skincare and anti-aging, and Pharmanex, which is nutrition, dietary supplement, and anti-aging. And we have another one that I want to share with you tonight, which is Nourish the Children. So sometimes, you know, people often think Nourish the Children is a non-for-profit organization, but actually that is called Force for Good. Nourish the Children is a business initiative that addresses the problem of childhood hunger in more of a sustainable manner. And since 2002, Nu Skin, our headquarters, the company employees, the sales leader, and the customers, we have donated over 650 meals to malnourished children around the world. I mean, that is a huge number, but I know we can do so much better than that, right? So what do we exactly donate? We donate Vitameals. Has anyone tried? It tastes like it's a porridge, and it actually is very delicious. I tried it once at this company event, and it tastes delicious. And the staple food in many African nations is actually a white corn porridge. And this probably is the only food source that they get for months, and it is missing key nutrients for children's development. A lot of humanitarian donations are often like plain corns or wheat or rice, and they actually have similar nutritional limitations. But Vitameals, the ones that we donate, it is a nutrient-dense food that includes 25 essential minerals and vitamins with ingredients that are critical for malnourished children. Gosh, let me tell you a few. So there's vitamin A. So vitamin A, which Vitameal has 5 to 10 times more than cornmeal, and vitamin A deficiency is actually a leading cause of blindness in children worldwide, and affects about 125 to 250 million children in third world countries. That's a lot. And there's also vitamin C, which is important for bone development and healthy gum. And vitamin D prevents muscle pain and weakness. And zinc, super important because it prevents infections and diarrhea in children. And zinc in Vitameal has 20 times more than the cornmeal. And there's also iron, copper, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and many, many more nutrients to support normal growth and immune functions of these children. So why do you want to participate in Nourish the Children? Well, 3.1 million children die each year from malnutrition related causes. And nearly 45% of those deaths are in children under 5. Millions of children experience this vicious cycle of malnutrition. So for example, they were given food that has no nutritional value. So they suffer from vitamin and mineral deficiency. Then they become malnourished, which cause diarrhea and infections and sickness and diseases. And these kids with those conditions, it's harder for them to absorb nutrients properly. And this cycle, vicious cycle goes on and on. We have to break this at some point. So by our Vitameal donation, we can really break this cycle. When children are given Vitameal, they have access to nutrient-dense food. And this will reduce sickness, infection, and diarrhea in children. And we can also contribute to improved physical and mental development. And there are many organizations that are working to address this issue, but unfortunately, a lot of times, these solutions are contract-based, which means they are temporary relief. However, Nu Skin's approach is a little bit different because the company values in sustainable solution. So Vitameal goes to the kids all over the world, world's most needy children, and the company provides consistent supply of nutritious meals. And with Nourish the Children, you know what your money will buy, which is nutritious Vitameals. And 100% of your donation goes to feeding these children, and you do not have to pay for shipping costs to these different destinations. And as I mentioned before, this is a social business initiative. So whenever you, your team members or your customers purchase and donate Vitameals, you are paid commission. And if you are serious about Nourish the Children and want to make commitment for this meaningful initiative, you can become Nourish the Children Ambassador. First, you and your first level, that includes your personal customers and brand affiliates, and donate total of 16 16 bags of Vitameals each month. So 16 bags can come in many different combinations, but you have to donate minimum 4 bags. And after 2 consecutive months of donating 16 bags, you become Nourish the Children Ambassador. And each year you complete the requirement, you will receive a new certificate, an additional bag of Vitameal that will be sent in your name to feed hungry children. And that's not all. You can also become a chief ambassador, and you can do that by inspiring 3 other first level to become Nourish the Children Ambassador. This is such a meaningful work, isn't it? So, my life before my life now compared to before Nu Skin has changed in many, many ways. I've gone through, a lot of personal development. Reading has become a big part of my life. I always set goals. My day is always planned. I dream big and believe in power of attraction. But the biggest change that I've experienced so far is that now I understand what it means to gain wealth by helping others. Like I mentioned, I was just that ordinary girl that really struggled many, many years not knowing what I really wanted in my life, and finally discovered it, and that was freedom. And then Nu Skin came to me, just like how Nu Skin came to you. I simply took the chance, and I can't wait to see what my life is going to look like next year and 5 years later. And thank you for listening to my presentation tonight. And I really hope you get in touch with the person that invited you to this meeting tonight and really learn about this opportunity. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to end tonight's meeting with my favorite Nourish the Children video by Steve Lunt. I wish you all the best and stay safe. I hope my video works, my slides work this time. Give me 1 second. Thank you.
Went out to a village in remote Malawi. We went into a little red brick schoolhouse and there found several hundred children, AIDS orphans, children with no parents who were being raised by their grandparents and their village elders in their little town. And we passed food around as there was the clamor that would accompany hundreds of kids confined in a small place. There were noises and laughter and some tears, and the smells of Africa were there. And then suddenly we started bringing the food into the room, the Vitameal, and putting it into little bowls and passing them through the audience. And these little hands would reach up and take these bowls and spoons and immediately just sit on the floor right where they were and ravenously start eating this porridge. And I can't, I wish I could take you there with me, but the smell of that corn-based porridge blended with the smell of humanity and in that little room was an experience that I think will stay with me forever. And then there was this gripping moment when the bowls were being passed from hand to hand among the adults and handed down to these children, and the hands are reaching up, and we get back near the back of the room, and somebody says, "We're out of Vitameal. That's the last of it." And there were still children who hadn't eaten. And there's this gripping. I looked around. There's tears in everybody's eyes because we hadn't got to the end of the row. I was fascinated that what happened next was the bowls got moved around and children started gathering around the bowls that were there, and they shared with each other, and everybody got something to eat in that room, it felt like. But just that, getting to that moment where we have so much. We know we have a warehouse full of Vitameal, but we ran out right there at the wrong moment. It was a very moving thing. I walked outside to kind of collect myself and walked around the corner and looked out across the field of this little African village. And there's a trail heading out across the field, and running down this trail were dozens and dozens of people running, women with little babies strapped to their backs, little children with a bowl in their hand, running down this trail because word had gotten out into the countryside that the Vitameal was being dispensed. And inside the room there was no food left. The needs of Africa are profound, and we, you know, that left me a little tearful. It leaves me tearful, you know, to retelling the story right now. But as I walked back into the room and kind of tried to assess the thing, I realized that in that setting with such desperate needs, still there were more smiles than tears. That the good we were doing was not enough to solve all of the world's problems, but there was joy there was happiness, there was laughter. And where there's joy and happiness and love and laughter, there's hope. And that hope that we created is something that I think the New Skin organization should take great pride in. They are bringing hope to not just a few, but to tens of thousands of people, day in, day out, month in, month out. And I just have to believe that one day some of those children are going to grow up to be leaders that will be the seeds of promise that will start to bring resolution to some of these intractable problems here. We can't solve all the problems, but those children may.
We must nourish the children today. We must nourish the children today. We must nourish the children.
Wow, amazing, amazing video. By far my favorite Nourish the Children video. Everyone, how about we all donate a bag of Vitameal this month? August just began, and you know, I believe I forget how much exactly it costs. It's in my ADR every month. It just automatically ships out, so I forget, but I think it costs less than $30. How about we all donate at least one bag this month? We have how many people in this room? We have 56 participants in the room. We can save 56 children's lives this month. Let's do it. I know we can do it. And I want, before I end my, presentation, I want to say thank you so much for the supporters that we have in the back that are working super hard. Eugene Chung and Ellen Lee for helping me out tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody stay safe and thank you. Have a good night.